Director of Granby System Wrestling. This is tape 10, Takedowns Volume 4, Tilts, Turns, and Pins. On this tape, we're going to expand on what was taught in tape number 7 and show a new series of holds that relates directly and makes all the top work even more systematic. I think you'll like the enhancements. You're certainly going to get a lot more back points and more opportunities to pin. Also, we're going to have a segment on the art of pinning, how to pin, and all sorts of details about it, and then actually show pinning in a variety of different situations. So let's get started. I have some wrestlers here to help me that are trained all their lives in this stuff and are very good with it. Let me introduce them first, and we'll get started on some technique. First is Damian Robinson. You guys come right on over here and let me introduce you so they'll know who we're going to be. Damian Robinson wrestles for us here at Kempsville, one of the top wrestlers in the state. Also, Nick Ramsey, one of our Kempsville wrestlers, well-trained, top wrestler in the state. Brian Miller, you guys move this way a little bit, make sure she can get you in. Brian Miller is a Kempsville state champion and also All-American college wrestler, and has been on a video before. You guys have seen him if you've bought some of our other videos. Also Sean Early, one of our top wrestlers at Kempsville, and is now a college wrestler, and you've also seen him on some other tapes. So they'll be helping me throughout the tape. Okay, let me have Sean stay out here with Nick right now at first, and then I'll bring you guys back on here in just a minute. All right, if you take the bottom, Nick, and let me start out on top. And the first thing I'd like to do is to just give a very brief review on the breakdowns that were taught in great detail on tape 7. And those of you that have tape 7 know about it. If you don't have tape 7, at some point after watching this tape, I think you'll probably want it. It shows a lot of the details about some of the things we're going to skim over and also associate with the holds that we're going to teach here today. And so the first thing I want to just talk about is breaking people down, because this is all going to be built around a breakdown series that's going to turn into tilts. That first segment in our tape, that's what we're going to be doing. And so it's very important that you know the technique for breaking an arm down and being able to get the man under control. And there are two basic patterns for doing it. One is called the Radman ride, named after a teammate and friend of mine named George Radman. And it's a chopping, powerful motion where Sean is going to, on the whistle, he's going to twist and cut that elbow in. He's going to drive his shoulder forward as he pulls the ribs in tight on the tight waist position, and then drives his knee up in the butt and breaks the man down. Come back again. It's a very quick, snappy, powerful move, great for stopping people's stand-ups and other moves that they make on the bottom. The ingredients are that you twist the elbow to break that grip so that it's not straight. Very strong when it's straight. When you twist it, much weaker, you can break it. At the same time, you're driving your shoulder high and sticking it into the back up toward his neck. And you're also then, if you'll take just a little sideways pull, Sean, you're squeezing tight on his ribs and tipping that knee up a little bit as you jam in with that back foot and break the man down. Do a quick one. Just one real snappy, powerful one. Ready? Go. Power. And as he's coming down, he's controlling the wrist for the things that we want to do in a few minutes when we start showing these techniques. Another breakdown that is equally effective, and in some cases more effective, in particular if he's not a quick, powerful stand-up man, would be crunching the hips. And I'm going to take you, Sean, and just give that first demonstration on that. And it's been my experience in teaching that the Radman is just top-notch and hard to beat. But it's also been my experience that once people master the Radman, they then need to get these guys that they can't break down with the Radman, which are common. Some guys brace real hard and you can't take them down. And so you need to do a waist ride or a hip ride that's a deep, tight waist at the same time that you control the arm over here. The general theory of it, which really works in practical terms, is that I'm going to pull this hip down, I'm going to pull this hip up with my elbow, and as I pull it up, I'm going to walk it over and pull it into my lap so that then I can crunch him down and put the breakdown on him right here. Watch these boys, they're real good at that. Let's do it a little bit at an angle so they can see. Nick, no, the other direction right there, so he can see. The first thing is controlling the arm at the same time as you're sinking to the hip. Once the hip is controlled, you're going to pull the hip down as your knee keeps your balance. You don't fall on your side, and you pull the man under your belly and then into the breakdown. Do it facing the other way so they can see the hip control on the other side. I always call this the crunch breakdown because you're putting the crunch on. And as you sink for the far hip, you're going to lift this hip up. This hip comes up, go back again, and this hip on this side is pulled down. Now, a lot of people here will fall on their side or break down from here. I don't like that much, and I don't think that's very safe. I don't think it's a good place to go. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that as you're tipping those hips, you are walking your knee out and pulling him right down underneath you to break him down. It's very, very tough. And what happens in the course, let me have Nick, once you learn this and you get your feel and your rhythm of doing this breakdown, and the radman too, you find that in the moving of wrestling on the bottom, when the man is making his movements and you're following his hips and staying with him, that you get all kinds of opportunities to slip deep and crunch him. Not just on the whistle, but in all sorts of other positions too. Now, let me make one mention of the arm. Because when you slip over here, you can't leave the arm. You can't just let it go. As you slip, you put some pressure into it. He won't come down. It won't break him. But you hold him so he can't do much with it. Then when you come across, then you're basically pulling both elbows in together. Very powerful. In fact, if you're just an average strong guy, this makes you feel like a very strong guy because your muscles are being used together in unison. It makes you much stronger. Okay? Now, taking those breakdowns, then let's step into the new stuff that I want to show you that ultimately will tie in with the techniques for tape 7. And we're calling this a roll-through tilt. So there's other names for it. Some people put names on it. But it's something that over the last several years we've developed and made a tremendously effective whole repertoire of things out of it and created a little system of wrestling in there that is tough to beat and real powerful. So let me show you what that is. All right, y'all want to start with it first here, and then I'll bring you boys over here in a second. The roll-through tilt requires you to have his wrist under control from the breakdowns that we just described. I want you to just move around that way and put your hand down. And the technique here is, go ahead, Sean, that he's going to control, let me show first. He's controlling the man's elbow here and the man's wrist. And he's going to dive his elbow down in between the legs along with his head. As he takes the wrist and pulls it, he's going to roll and kick his feet up to the front so he has a perfect little balanced little place here in his lap where this knee holds the hip up and this knee traps the crotch and elevates the leg. All right, come back again. Now that's a roll-through tilt, or that's the basic. Come back this way a little bit. That's the basic roll-through tilt. Let me show you that again. Turn so they can see this side right here. The first thing is emphasize and show the elbow control, Sean. And just hold up. The elbow is tight under control, and the wrist is pulled hard toward the hip. And the basic premise, if he's on his knees, is that your elbow will, and we're just going to show it, go deep inside the thigh. Come back again. At the same time, your head cuts under with it, and at this point, there's a hard pull here, and this may be the key to the whole thing that you have to watch to make sure that you learn correctly. Once he starts to roll, that the feet have to come from over here into a spin to land here. So he's ready for his elevator here and his knee pinch there. This is the critical thing to make the hold work. If his leg is down, the man hops off the hip, there's not going to be any points. There'll be no back points. There's no control. So in order to have him under control, this foot not only has to step up, but the knee steps up high and walks up high. If he tries to move off of you, you continue to walk your foot up under to keep him balanced and hold him. If he turns that way, you walk and you hold him and you keep him under control in here. Okay? All right, come back. All right, now, Damien, come out here a second. Come out here with Nick. Take the top. All right, take that wrist under control, and let's go. Let's turn this way. All right, trap the wrist. Go ahead, get the wrist and do it. And now cut, elbow under, roll through. Go ahead, do it fast, and roll through. What I wanted to show you is that right here, you have an opportunity when you get it to this position to hold him for back points and get your count right here. Ref's going to give you a count as long as you can hold him. He's going to turn that way, and so there's a very tight, hard pull on this wrist, very hard. And you're moving in that direction as you walk your bottom foot and elevate and pinch to hold him down. Many times you can get a good, clear three-pointer in here without any problem. But you don't have a relaxed hold on this where he can then turn hard. He can turn hard if he wants to turn hard, but you are pulling it back in this direction. Now go back up there and do that again, the whole thing. And face this way when you start. And turn around, face the other way, totally the other way. And when you come through there, Nick, you try to bail out and you overemphasize the hold of that elbow, Damien. Cut through, elbow through fast. Bring it through, hold them. See the walking, see the pulling, see the movement involved in there. Ref's already given a count. You got your 3-point. Okay? All right, come on back out of there. All right, now let me have you two guys come back out here and help me. Let me show you what Sean, and I'll have Sean start with it first and then Brian. And you'll see even little guys can get the big guys on this. But when you have a man broken down, well, let me get you back up for a second on your knees. If he's on his knees, he's very easy to roll through, relatively speaking. There's a big emphasis on pulling the hip as you go and making a rip of that hip. Another emphasis that some of the boys like to do is to take their hand and just make a punch on that arm to help force the man. Do a couple, 3 or 4 punches in a row, Coach Sean, and show. And they hit it. Most of the boys roll with it. Let's go slowly so I can show real slowly. And go ahead. And the pull of the hip, jerk the hip, boom. That's what gets them going. But there's some of them that like to pull the hip and punch the arm. Go ahead and make a punch. And that gives you that little extra go when the guy is a little hard to get. All right, come back again. Now, when they break down to the mat and resist in a stronger way, and you come across, maybe you've even stepped over a little bit and you're trying to make it go, then it's difficult. In fact, you try to roll them from here and they don't go. So sometimes they would, but turn against it, Brian. So what Sean is going to do is walk over just a little bit and put some more back pressure on him hard, and now make a little headstand, almost flip kick, and then pull that hip and go. And just about everybody will go on that one. Come back again. Slide over just a little bit toward this spot. All right, Brian, take the top on it. So when you've got a guy broken down, and I would say anybody that's around your area that you start doing this on, they're going to start going down and fighting against it and shifting. And so you start your movement to go and you feel resistance. So now he's going to kind of crank back a little bit and start extra driving. Now he's going to flip and take the pull. And notice how strong and tight he is right here. Sometimes it threatens a pin on some guys. They're so close they almost get pinned. Come back again. There are times even when you can do a headstand on this to get the extra flip. Some of the boys that are sort of acrobatic like Brian is and others, when they go, they actually do a flip like that and flip them over. Okay, Sean, do one of your flips. So you're trying to take them over, and you're out to the side a little bit driving. He's got tremendous pressure on his back, and then makes a quick flip release. Boom. See his feet? Go back and do that again. Watch a kip, his little kip. Let me show that. Stop on your kip on your feet so I can show them. Now he's very tight. He's very tight. Then, boom, quick release, stop, kip. Do it again. Before you put both feet down, when you did it fast. Do it fast. Just slam both feet over here and stop. There. Come back again. So I've even seen guys do this. A lot of them go down. go down and turn against me just a little bit. I've seen them come right up like this and just go straight over like that and flip them. And straight headstand. Because they just get so much momentum going, they just fly through it. Just flip and fly through it, boom, and pull it over into the tight position. And let me show you, come back again. Let me show you what can happen and what you have to be able to do here. Okay, let me just get on top and show one thing that's a pretty important thing. I've spoke about it, but let me just casually kind of come through with you, Brian. And right here, the big thing here is this leg up here to hold them. Made some emphasis on it, but I want to make it again. And then the pinch here. And that leg has to step up. And the technique for that is sort of, move over that way just a second, Brian, is that when you come through, you have to spin and step it up. You can't just roll through. So watch Sean come over here with Brian. Just let me make one more point on that, because this is going to be important the whole entire video, all the way through. So as you roll through and you're stopped right, go ahead, right there. Oh, no, don't do the jump. You're stopped right here. The key ingredient is the flipping, spinning, kind of like an old break dance kind of thing where you spin on your back. Come back again, and just make, no, just for a drill, just a little drill right there. Just the spin drill, the foot drill. Spin up, now rolling back, spin, jump up, and make yourself do this. This is a drill. Do it again. Try to get off his leg, Brian. Walk it up, walk it up, walk it up. Okay? Now, one other thing while we're talking about these things I've just shown you. When Brian tries to roll through Sean, and from the breakdown position, and Sean simply will not go, and Brian does a headstand, but he still does not go here, then you just run around, flip right back up on top, and reset it up and try to get something again. If it doesn't work, there's no danger is my point. It looks like there could be, but there's not. He hadn't got anything, and you just come back in place. Okay, now let me have these guys, Damien and Nick, come up, and let me show you where to go when they do stop you, which there's no doubt they're going to stop this hold. All right, Nick, just take it cranked up and lay out with a breakdown and come to the side. And Nick is trying to do what we just did. And as he does, Damien shifts his hips and prevents it. All right, start your roll through hard. And he's grinding as hard as he can. He may even made one flip attempt, then jump back. And then when he comes back, he's going to do a reverse tilt the other way. Go ahead, pull the elbow, sit under, same plan of the knee. You're in the same exact position. Everything's the same. All right, come back. Let's do it again. Let's back up this way for the camera just a little bit. So about another 2 feet. So here's the issue. You try to take somebody one way by driving, and then you quickly reverse them, take them the other way, sit your knee under, and walk it up and have him in that direction. And the key to that would be, let me have Nick, the key to that would be 2 things. Creating tremendous momentum, pressure this way, so he resists it, and he has to walk himself way out to stop me from getting him. And then the other is when I go, a tremendous pull on that arm to jerk him up and get that leg under. Because you got to have that bottom leg come under to do it. Called a reverse tilt. Do that one more time. Damien, you do it this time. Take the top. Drive hard for the tilt. Drive hard, drive hard, drive hard. And now come back under, cut your knee, reverse tilt him the other way. Now right here, he's again holding that arm back and forcing himself into some back points and getting some counts. Sometimes this kind of thing happens. You get over here, and your man gets out after 2 counts, and he fights out. But as he fights out, you just come right back up and hit him with another quick roll through, because he's going right into your next one. And this one you get so deep and so tight that you can hold him for the 3 count. Come back again. Let's show that again. So in other words, you're aware. Come back. You're too close. Come back. You're aware that you only had a 2-pointer. So roll through, and Nick turn out after he gets a 2 count. I'll be the ref. Go ahead. Roll through. Counts 1, 2. He's out. He's out. He's in. Now immediately get the deep. Go ahead. Right into it. Again, and this time hold him up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 points. All right, that's good. Right. So you get a reverse tilt one way, then you take them the other way, and end up getting your back points in the full thing. Now, there are some other ways to do this, and there's a way to tie it into with a series of the things that are on tape 7. Before we get there, though, I want to do a stand, and I want you to come out here and help me with Sean, Nick, together here. And Sean's just got especially good technique in understanding this, and so I want to use him. But let me make a point first. Under the new rules, anything up here of a roll-through nature can be potentially dangerous, and one should never, ever, ever go against a leg like so. And you shouldn't have been doing that any other time before any tilts ever came around either. It's just not the thing to do. It's dangerous, and it's not done. We don't ever do that, and refs never call us, and we don't have potentially dangerous situations because we don't go through like that. But there's some people who learn it and learn it wrong, and I just want you to understand right now, both coaches and wrestlers, that it is not legal for you to jam against anybody's leg in order to get them. So let me show you how you do actually do it. Very much the same as it would be, and that is to fight your way around to the side, elbow comes in front of the inner thigh, head slips down in front of the stomach. As you start to go, you're pulling on the hip, hopping to the front, sitting through, and coming right back in. Everything's the same as it was before. All the conditions are the same. Come back again. It's really a good thing, and it does work effectively. Our kids can all do it. He's always been able to do it exceptionally well. Again, the technique is, as you slide around to the front with the elbow control, your elbow comes in front, your head comes under, and you walk your way back. Let me get out of your way so you can show that. Watch him. Back up this way a little bit. Watch him walk. Walk, walk, walk. Pull into the sit-through. Very strong position. All right, come back up. The other thing that you can do here and that you have to do, and let me make a point that might be, if you've never had any of our tapes, you might not actually know this point. If you've had our tapes and haven't, you obviously know this point. The name Granby system is not some unbelievable thing that has to be followed. It's a system of wrestling, and nothing's better. And that's not what it's really all about. We study technique, we study advanced technique, and we think our techniques are very effective, and they're worked by all the top wrestlers in the world and in the country. But the point of the systematic idea or approach is that there's always a way he's going to stop your hold. And you need the next hold that's open, or you need to adjust or be able to take him one way when you can't take him another. And just about everything we teach on all our tapes and our camps and everywhere is a series of things that can be put together systematically. That's the idea behind the system. Well, this is no different. If you're up here trying to do a roll through and Nick is popping his hips out in a way, there's no way you can get there. But he's now vulnerable for a sit back, because you have his arm totally under control, and you can sit through. Watch him take his knee under, takes a sit back, and takes him with the wrist control, elevator, same position as he was before. Come back again. It's especially good for people who typically, when they stand up, are trying to get their hips out. That's what they're doing. He's probably trying to go here. When they go here, that's when you can sit under and take them. Now, do it from here so that they can see your fallback action. Do it from facing in this direction. So watch the fallback action. This is it. As he steps under, and we'll try to help him go slow, he puts his toe on the outside and sits his way through right to an elevator and right to a tilt position. It's very good. And the reason it's safe, and I'm all a safety-conscious person in wrestling, is I have him, don't go out there yet, I have him here. It's not like I'm doing something and I don't have him. I've got him. So when I go here, there's no trouble. When I come up in here, there's not trouble because I have him under control. So if you can bend him over, you're going to cut through in here. If he pulls his hips out, you're going to drop in and go here. Very effective stuff, and I think it will help you. So this whole roll through tilt series, I'm going to show you some edited cuts of kids doing it, and you're going to see an awful lot of it, and very successful, and all our people are doing it, teaching at camp, having great success with it. So take a look at these things, and then we'll come back with some other techniques that blend this whole roll through into a whole system of wrestling.